Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Got a great broadcast, and I'm high and happy, elephant and lady, and porcupine proud to have with me already this morning. We got three other finest, DKM finest. Gotta go, ladies first. Toya with a T. Good morning. How you doing, young lady?
Good morning, good morning. Hello, family.
What's going on with you?
Oh, it's a great morning, man. Great to be with you. I'm so excited to discuss this topic.
Absolutely, absolutely. Captain Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Who you talking to me, Raheem?
Captain Leonard. Captain Leonard got a delay over there. I don't know what's going on with Captain Leonard this morning.
Like that. Good morning, Raheem, and the morning glow family.
Good deal. And Curtis, the thespian, the one that's gonna win the all the awards and all the acting. And we ain't gonna say nothing about no singing, but acting and all that stuff. These look, Curtis. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, man. Good morning. Boy, how you doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and jump. We you know what? I'm gonna take about a minute or two to find out what's going on. And then we're gonna jump into this topic that we got. We got a lot of background noise coming from somebody's line. I don't know where that noise is coming from. Everybody, yeah, there you go. Mute your line for me. But I want to find out, Leonard, first and foremost, what's going on in the political in anything new, man?
They still doing the work they're supposed to do. Once they propose their bill, it's back and forth to committee and everything, and trying to get all the other people to go in on the vote. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, I look at different things in uh, my area, and we have a lot of bills related to education as well in the state of Georgia, along with those bills meant to uh, really get our law enforcement agencies in check.
Mm-hmm.
And they are bills which also include now uh, actual language on how police officers should be instructed to police
Mm-hmm.
and discuss and making sure that police officers are getting the exposure to the training and things necessary, especially as it relates to de-escalation of issues.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't really know what that is. That's really one of the issues that a lot of police have. They're supposed to de-escalate
Yes.
issues as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to allowing them to escalate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically how they approach, how they ask you to do certain things, and how they respond. Um, we have different things in here, like related to our Constitutional Carry Act. I think we were just discussing that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We have to put some type of rules and guidelines about around people bringing all of these weapons to quote protest.
Mm-hmm.
You have to set certain rules so these people don't bring these types of weapons on school grounds.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a specific bill related to that where you can have a weapon at, because we've seen what has been happening because this past year or so, even before COVID, we were in a huge protest movement in the
Mm-hmm.
U.S. and a lot of different things started happening. A lot of people were meeting all over the United States about certain things, and one of those things had to do with things like how law enforcement engage the public, or
Mm-hmm.
how we're looking at some laws as being unconstitutional. Here in Georgia, we're dealing we have one for controlled substances, for instance, as it relates to possession of certain quantities of marijuana,
Mm-hmm.
and they would be constituted all over Georgia as a misdemeanor, not just the city of Atlanta or those cities who go further with their own ordinances, but this would be for the state of Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a bill for making possession of marijuana constituting a misdemeanor in the entire state, as opposed to just city by city like you have now.
Okay.
We have House Bill 15 here. It's the Preventing Tragedy Between Police and Communities
Mm-hmm.
Act.
Mm-hmm.
So we have legislatures that we follow that are working on those things important to our community, like the Militarization Act, Indian Racial Profile, Police Accountability Act. But we have a serious issue with civil forfeiture and the ability of people to just seize all your assets and properties just because they think or want to assume you did something.
Mm. Mm.
See, this is the power of when somebody can just say you did something, an allegation that you did something,
Are you talking about them
to
Becky's?
cause all.
Them Becky's?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Come
To
on.
cause it ain't just Becky's.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a huge increase in people that are not guilty of a crime,
Mm-hmm.
but wind up losing their livelihood because of an allegation.
Oh Lord, the party
So
came back.
that's what it has a lot to do with Due Process and Civil Forfeiture Act that we have here in Georgia.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there has been another shooting. There's been another shooting in Boulder, Colorado, with 10 people. 10 people to has lost their lives. And it came out that the guy that did the shooting here in Atlanta, he bought the gun that day. What do you think about this gun control situation that we have right now?
I already spoke about this last year. You already know that's the plan to try to take away the guns. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, these attacks that are supposedly random, it's gonna, it's gonna want to urge people to do something. But I don't think that the something that needs to be done is to remove them, because you still violate my rights. Period. And I'm not a gun toter, but I do believe that I should have the uh, um, lawful ability to where if I saw somebody run up into a bank and I get my hands on one and I go ahead and take them out, I don't need to be facing no legal ramifications. But if I decide to go maliciously murder, kill somebody, then yeah, I need to go to jail for that. Again, I'm not with paying the consequences for someone else's choices. So it's a tragedy, but when you living in this world, there's what we call conspiracy theories, right? And there's this thing they say that these things are staged, and I don't think people understand what it say when people be talking in the background conspiratorial. You're saying it's staged. It means more like a influenced action. And if you just really just dig back some layers, I mean, the world we going through, man, it's just unbelievable. You know, the guy in Asian and with the Asian massage parlors. That's a product of racism.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
when you take your child home and you teach them, and you think because you teach them one way, they're their own human being. They can take it and run with it and do whatever they please. And then you sit up and talk about, oh no, well I didn't think they were going to kill somebody. Like it's just really crazy. But again, long as each individual gets held accountable for their actions, right? Like when I went and beat that boy up with the bat, should they have banned all bats? Nobody can buy a bat no more. No, so he went to jail. Period. Yeah. Point blank.
Without a doubt.
Don't be changing laws. Don't make everybody else pay for the consequences of an individual. The law is instructed to be able to judge the law on one individual. They need to keep it like that. Don't go changing anything else.
Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Got a lot of things going on.
Well, first and foremost, if we ain't never believed it before, you can believe it now. The laws that govern weapons is not working. That's number one. It ain't working. It's just that simple. It ain't no other way to put that. It's not working. The law needs to be rethought, rewritten to a modern era. The law is written to an era where, come on, we all know, the fact that we overlook mental health and act as if mental health don't exist is playing a part. You know what I mean? You got people who have episodes, man, and for the most part, they can be deemed sane. But then they have an episode, and now you got so many different things in the DSM, man, that, the gun control, man, laws, they come on, man. They not working. I'm sorry. It
Mhm.
ain't no other way to put it. And you know what? I'll end it with this right here, Rodney. A few years ago, I asked my son, because I really wanted to know, like, I'm a person that I like to understand feelings. And I really wanted to know what it felt like to have to get up every day, to go to school, and know that on this day right here, you're going to do an active shooter drill. What is that like to get up and go to school and have in the back of your mind that today might be the day that I might not come home? And then it really hit me like a ton of bricks this morning. His answer to me was, Daddy, I'm scared. He said, I'm scared every day. But then it hit me like a ton of bricks this morning. You know why, Raheem? Because now I know what that fear is like. And I don't know it by friction of another person. I'm on my way to work, and I'm saying, doggone, man. Is this going to be the day where we're going to have an active shooter on my job?
Because,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
and it can happen at any time, brother.
And I'm just like, wow, man, come on, man. I mean, you got to get the gun lobbies out of politics. They got to go. They got to go.
Okay. Badger, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Wondering what kind of topic I just walked up into.
Okay. Curtis, mute your line, Curtis. Mute your line, brother.
I got you.
We're talking about one of the things we're talking about is the gun control. There was another shooting last night in Boulder, Colorado, where 10 people lost their lives. And what are we doing right or wrong with this gun control situation? The guy that actually shot people here in Atlanta, they said that he bought his gun that day and went out and killed 8 people.
For one, I wish guns were never invented. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay.
Second, I think there's more of kind of like what Curtis was touching on with the mental stuff. Like me, I'm a really good shot with a gun. I know how to use them. I know how to take care of them, everything. But I know where my mental state is. If I have a gun on my person and I see someone abusing a woman or a child or, doing a group attack on somebody, I'm going to prison for murder. Period. I don't need to own a gun. I know I'm trigger happy. But that's the issue, though. So I acknowledge that with my mental state, I know what I would do. There are people out there that don't. They're either not aware, they don't care, or so on and so on. They don't do enough of a thorough how do you word that? I say people I really don't think need to own guns. But at the same time, people talk about these shootings and different stuff like that that's happened and whatnot, right? But when you look at certain situations, places and things like that, there's a lot of people that I've talked to overseas that talk about the gun laws and things like that. And I'm trying to remember all the stats, but when you start digging into how many people or how many the issues with the gun stuff, and then you take in the individual that was behind what was going on, that did the shootings, there's some kind of mental issue going on. And most of the time, especially if it's in the schools, it's domestic.
Okay. That's good. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of layers, and we may talk a little more in depth about this whole situation tomorrow on Way Out Wednesday. But right now, I want to jump into the topic that we have at hand today. And Toya, with the team, I'm gonna kick it off with you, asking you the question. Everybody talking about how much they in love and they love love, and love is a beautiful thing, and it is. But do love have limits? Do love have limits? Toya, what do you say to that?
I think they should, and I think the older you get, this is why they have limits, and the more complicated they get, right? Because love get on my nerves right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking a break. No, stop, pause. I'm only loving on me. I don't want the responsibility of loving nobody else because it's extra. Cats is too needy right now. We too old for that, right? I don't want to love then.
Mm-hmm.
If I got to keep on putting you in front of me and you the man, the head, this is the part that confuses me.
Mm-hmm.
Why love for me being a woman? Love got to be with me carrying the man, not, just playing my role, making sure I hold you down, but taking care of you when initially you're supposed to be taking care of me, and then I'm supposed to be taking care of all the other outside stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like love in this era right here is really lopsided, and I think it's more on the woman. Guys, I don't think they. It's just I don't know. It's crazy, but
Now, hold up. We love too. Now we love too.
but it's a different.
Mm-hmm. Explain
It's
it to
different.
me. Explain it to me.
Well, I think women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're girls and because daddies give us stuff, that's why we connect love with giving us stuff. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got to do about beating and all that, but taking care of us is like you got to think about it. You teach men to go get their own, and you teach girls to make sure that their husband they with gonna be damn near better than their daddy.
Mm-hmm.
So we associate that versus where guys, y'all might not require that. Like we don't have to take y'all shopping, get y'all own hair done, get y'all toes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a different kind of love that is different from men and women. Y'all don't want to hear all that talk. We want to talk. And that's the problem when you say, how was our day? And we talk and you really don't want to hear it. And when we ask y'all how y'all day is, y'all going to say fine and you happier than the donut and the cup of milk.
Mm-hmm.
So it causes a problem because we want to talk to you, our most intimate person, like my dad. Don't stay here no
But
more with me. You know,
But
right?
can't you?
Move from
Toya,
that
can't you?
male relationship to a husband.
Toya, can't you
Or what?
gauge? Can't you gauge the person that you're with and look at them and see? Sometimes you can look at them and say, well, they're not really in a very talkative mood today, and so maybe you might want to back away from that. How was your day? Or that whole conversation. Can't you? If you're with this person, you love this person, you should know this person. So can't you gauge that a little bit and say, well, he's not really in a good mood. Let me leave him alone for right now.
And that's okay once or twice or three times. Just like can't y'all gauge that with sex?
Ooh,
can't you tell and look like she probably don't look like it, feel like she in the mood to want to do it?
Ooh.
So probably once or twice or three times. But then after a while, that's what it's about. See, this comes from that fake game we played in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's certain things you don't like doing in the beginning anyway, but because you trying to be somebody you ain't for this person you don't know, and get with that, you doing all this extra because I like her, did what she like, let me do what she like. And then 3 years down the line, you really don't feel like being bothered. And now you're showing me you really don't feel like being bothered. And I'm confused because this is what I like, and this is what you asked me. This is what you did in the beginning, and I don't know how to take it now. A year down the line, because this is what you used to do in the beginning, and you really didn't want to do that. You did it just to get sex or get whatever, conquer whatever your plan was. And I'm like flabbergasted over here at that point.
They baited the hook, threw it out there in the pond, and you bit it.
That's the game.
And you bit it.
That's the game. And then it's like, oh, well, you've been and had sex and then made a baby. And then, I found out I don't like her. That's because you was playing in the beginning. Oh, what you like to do? Oh, this, oh, that. I just talked to a man the other day. Listen, I'm still young. I want kids, right? Most guys my age don't want kids. So I don't date because most men my age, they don't want no more kids. I want to get married. They don't want that. So if you don't want that, I'm not for you.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, well, I can't have kids no more. But he's still going to try to rationalize to himself that I should date him. But what the heck did I just tell you? You know you don't want no more kids.
And now
You know you
now it
can't
becomes
have none.
now it becomes the chase. Now it becomes the chase. Cassandra.
The game. No, it's not the chase. It's the
Mhm.
game.
Yeah, well, some people call it different things, and I could agree with you there as well. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
We're asking the question: Do love have limit? Does love have limits, or should love have limits? What do you say to that? Everybody talking about they love and they in love and they blah blah blah. But do love have limits?
It absolutely should have limits because everything should have boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say limits, that's exactly what you're talking about. Any relationship should have boundaries and guidelines. There's certain things that are deal breakers for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I think for all of us, we have things that hey, this just ain't gonna fly. You're not going to do this. So yes, love does have limits. I mean, your love for someone, you can love someone as much as you want to, but there should be some type of like we're not going to go there type of thing going on in a relationship in order to keep it healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go along with everything and anything that you say just to stay in a relationship. That's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that should not happen in any relationship because then it becomes toxic. It's not healthy anymore. So yes, love does have limits.
Okay.
It should have limits.
Now let's talk a second before I go to the fellows. Let's talk if you know this person like me and Toya was just talking about, and you know that maybe this is not one of them days that they want to talk about. Maybe they just want to sit over there and just sit in front of the TV, get their little tea or whatever they're gonna drink, and sit in front of it and just be quiet for a minute because it was one of those days. Shouldn't you be able to gauge that and leave that person alone for that moment?
Who are you asking?
You.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
but see that's the thing. A lot of people nowadays they don't really try to get to know the other person because your spirit should tell you certain things about discernment. That's what discernment is for.
Mhm.
When you're connected to a person or when you're connecting to a person, your spirit should tell you certain things about them. And but because it's a lot of the relationships now are about carnal stuff. You know what I'm saying about a feeling. The spiritual part is gone. But if you know someone, if you are discerning who they are in the spirit, you know what's a good time to do this, what's not. Maybe you don't not need to say anything about that right now, and
Mhm.
you can gauge it, but it's
Mhm.
all up to you whether you're operating in the spirit realm or you're operating in your flesh. It's
Absolutely.
totally two different relationships.
Mhm. Good deal. Good deal. Badger, does love have limits?
None of it's actual love, no.
No limits.
Um, I think there's a lot of confusion on what love is.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, uh, mm, I'm listening to what's being said and things like that, and it baffles my mind because I
Mhm.
don't view what my parents did to me as love.
Mhm.
Um, so I think there's a lot of misusage of that word in general. Um, I also think there's not a lot of men out there in the world right now. Um,
That's painted with a broad brush, brother.
and not really.
It is.
Um, oh, okay, I guess in my head it isn't. Um,
Mhm.
well, what I'm getting at is like, most of you guys know I'm very much into matriarch. Women run the household. Just
Mhm.
flat and simple, plain and simple. I mean,
Mhm.
and it's interesting to hear a lot of people's perspectives on how men act and treat and react and their expectations and all that. Like me, I don't see why a woman has any reason to put on dead animals and all that kind of stuff just to try to get a man to like them. If a man
Mm.
doesn't like you due to your personality or what's on the inside, then what's the point to begin with?
Okay.
You about to say something?
No, go ahead.
So there's a lot of things that just on my viewpoints and my opinions that just don't make a lot of sense. Because
Okay.
to me, if you're dating someone just based on looks, that sounds more like lust, not love.
And see, and I could agree with a huge part of what you just said in regards to the lust and stuff like that. Because a lot of times people do get caught up in their lustful nature, and they pursue someone out of lust. So I can agree with you there. But at the same time, I also know that not everybody look at view or level of love, if you will, is the same. It's just different. Everybody's different. Some people, the way I see it, as far as the household part that you said about the woman running the household, I don't agree with that. Nor do I agree with the man running the household. I think it should be a joint effort, and they should come together and sit down at that table and communicate and talk over whatever it is and come to an understanding. But at the same time, I know that if like me and my wife, we sit at the table and we have a discussion about something, if we can't agree, I'm gonna make a decision. I'm gonna say, well, baby, we're gonna do it this way. We're
And
gonna do
see
it this
that
way. And no, there's you cannot tell me how to do it. That's the way we do it. My thing is this
that's
right here.
what I was about to say.
Okay, listen to me though. My thing is right here. If we can't come to an agreement, I'm gonna make the decision. I'm gonna say, well, baby, we're gonna do it this way. And if we realize after a while it's not working, I say, hey, baby, maybe we need to try it the way that you said, because the way that I thought was gonna be the best way is not working. So let's try the way you said it and see how that work out for us, and then we'll move forward. Let's keep this thing going. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Does love have limits? Oh, we lost Curtis. We lost Curtis. Leonard, talk to me, brother. Does love have limits?
If you put limits on it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, one, I've never been into that whole fall in love, lose your mind situation.
Mm-hmm. I can agree
I
with you
don't
there.
understand, I don't get involved with that. People use love as an excuse to do stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, Leonard,
But the notion that
you ain't never
somehow
did
that
nothing
you don't
crazy.
have
You ain't
control
never did nothing
bothers
crazy for
me.
love, Leonard. You ain't never did nothing crazy for love, brother.
Not really. I mean, what do you call crazy?
Hey, everybody got their own level of crazy. I'm just asking you. Have
Right,
you?
but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I think some people use love for the wrong reasons, or for reasons what it was not
Mm-hmm.
to be used for. I mean, if you don't love somebody, don't say it.
Mm-hmm.
Never assume that you love by someone.
That goes back to the game that Tori was talking earlier, though. People, they play it. It's a game. Sometimes it's a game to people. Well, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's the difference between. I mean, if you're trying to win, I don't have a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
If you know it, I don't have a problem with it. You chose to play it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have no problem watching people make the same mistake over and over if you won't change.
Mm-hmm.
You've been told to keep your legs closed a long time ago. What I look like continuing to tell you this?
Mm.
You know how you should behave and govern yourself. You know you lose control of a situation the moment you give them that sex. You know that.
Do you think in some situations with what you just said, do you think in some situations ladies like to be um played, in lack of a better term, played because they
Yes,
continue?
because they love the game.
Mm.
They love the game
What
just as much as men.
what about the hurt element of it?
So what? You live, as long as you live, and you gonna hurt.
Mm. Cassandra, what do you say to that? Come on, Cassandra. This the morning glow now. This the morning glow.
No, I don't do games. I guess that's why I'm by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So if being in love means you thinking that you're going to get over on me and uh, get my body or whatever your intentions are to play the game, for me, what I find is that I'm considered a challenge to men. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I was told. I'm a challenge because I have boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to cross those boundaries. So
Yeah.
we're not going to be sleeping together if we're not married. Bottom line, boom.
Mm-hmm.
It's no negotiation. And it's been 21 years, and I'm good. I
Mm-hmm.
am totally good, because if I have to give in to my belief, especially my spiritual belief, just to be with you, then there's nothing to talk about. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be good until God sends a person that can respect who I am and what I stand for. And every woman has that right to choose, and every man has that right to choose who they want to be with, and if it's based on love, lust, or money, or whatever. My relationship is going to be built on love and spirituality. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody has their place. Some women, it's all about the money. Some men, it's all about the sex. So if you find somebody that's willing to roll with that, and that's what y'all call love, then go for it. I just have certain guidelines that I follow as a Christian, and I'm not going to break that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my position. So that's it.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Toya with a T, talk to me. What do you say to that? Toya?
Listen, I don't know what to say. For some reason, I'm feeling like weight is on me, on the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you let him. Oh, you let down with him. No, what about him and his lies? Stop acting like guys is acting like, oh, you don't want to be with the chick before you lay down with her. That's not the case. Everybody ain't just getting just seduced. It's a game that's being played between
Mm-hmm.
the man and the woman, which at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Not this conversation with someone, female and male, it really doesn't matter. That's something we throw weight over. God don't care nothing about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we like this because the woman keep leading us wrong. What did God tell you? Oh, I'm like this because this and third, but it's all fun and jokes until it's your daughter, though. It's all fun and jokes until it's your mama. So I just think, humans and our dominion, we take our choices and our power, and we choose to put it in division. We choose to put it in um I'm so different than you that I gotta stay in this place, and that place that I gotta stay in. If it's negative, it's a no go. Whether you're a man or a woman, there are men out there that have issues, the same issues that women have, and vice versa. And I think for me, too many men is I'm more manly than them.
Mm.
Oh, you ain't got a pop the piston window car, nothing, but you don't take the bus to work. What? Oh no, I can't do that right there, partner. Oh, you can't give me no ride and you got no car? And I believe that yeah, my boyfriend, if he need a ride, he's supposed to have a car. He's supposed to, if I got the car, then yeah, but you ain't got no car. So how you gonna automatically get something that you automatically didn't come with?
Well, see, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop you off at work, and I'm gonna keep your car till I go out there and find a job. See?
No, we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You do that with your car that you bought.
See,
I done learned my lesson in my past
mm-hmm.
again with buying my own car in my own name, letting you ride it, use it, hold it, tear it up, talking about you dropping me off. I done learned about that. That I got that on the test wrong, and I don't like getting tests wrong. So we don't do that. That's why you got to come with one. And no, do you not deserve love because you broke? Of course you don't not deserve love. No, you need to love yourself first. How about that?
Now that's a whole different conversation, and a whole different alley, because a lot of people, one of the reasons why they can't find love, because they don't have that an internal love for themselves. They don't love themselves, and so they don't love them. So how they gonna love you? How they gonna value you? They don't value themselves.
Right.
Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Just listening to what people are saying and stuff, and just realizing I just have a very different perspective. Like I can acknowledge a lot. I've seen a lot of what people are talking about and stuff. It just never made any sense to me on why people allow it to happen. Um, it's I've always been a person to, uplift women and things like that to the best of my ability, and some of them, you know, I fell for the trap and I shouldn't have even got involved with the woman.
Mm-hmm.
But, the way I grew up was, to have a huge respect for women and things like that. Um, and kind of touching back on what I was talking about earlier, there's, you know, I just feel that a good woman has a better mind than most men.
Mm.
Men have too much of a tendency to let pride and ego cloud their judgment.
Mm.
Um, but unfortunately, most guys will probably want to argue with me night and day because of what I'm saying. And I think that's part of the issue. Is there's Go
Well,
ahead.
I don't know if it's part of the issue. I think that everybody have their own perspective and their own mindset and the way that they think about it, and are they wrong for saying how they feel, or are you wrong for saying the way that you feel? Which one have to be wrong? It's your own
My
personal interpretation. It's your own personal interpretation of how you feel about it.
It's not my own personal. Mine is
So
entirely based on very old
Okay,
teachings
let me ask you this, Badger. Let me ask you
and
this: what
culture.
what give you more right? What give you more right to infiltrate your thoughts on them than them to infiltrate their thoughts on you? What give you more right to do that? Because the way that you're saying it right now is from your life experiences and what you say you've gone through. What they're actually speaking from their life experiences and what they've gone through. So what makes one better than the other? Is both of y'all life interpretation and life experiences. That's where you are because that's your life experiences. You can't tell them their life experiences, Badger. That doesn't make it better.
I didn't know I was coming across that way.
No, I'm just asking a question. I'm the question asker.
Okay. Well, the way you were saying your word usage made it sound like that's what I was saying.
It kind of, maybe I was off, but it kind of sounded like you were saying that they was wrong and in the way that they thinking and stuff like that. But what makes you right and them wrong? That was my basically my question. Because Sandra, am I wrong in what I did I hear something wrong? Help me out.
I don't know, because Badger has a way of expressing himself that is, I love it because I feel like he is, he's honest with, that's his truth.
Yes.
And that's the way that he perceives, and that's what this is
Yeah.
all about. The conversations are about
Mhm.
our personal
But
perceptions, or our personal
exactly.
experiences, or
But
our
see, because
personal research.
let me step
That's
in 1 second. Let me step in one. And you're absolutely right. And that's why I went to you because I knew your perspective on it. But you're right. It's his perspective, and he speak from and I love that he do that because he's real honest, and that's what I
Yeah,
love.
he's very
He's very honest.
authentic. That's
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I have no problem with that.
But see, but
Yeah.
that's his life experiences. You can't tell anybody else their life experiences though, or try to pull them into the way that you think. They have their life
Well, I
experiences
don't
as
think
well.
I personally don't think he doesn't come across that way to me. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, maybe that's just, and like I said, once again, here we go with everyone's perspective, how you see things.
Mm-hmm.
So then I don't see it. I see him as being very honest about how he sees things, how he
Mm-hmm.
feels about
Oh
things,
yeah, he's very honest. Yeah.
his life experiences.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I do the same thing. I'm not trying to push off what I believe on anybody else. I'm saying this is what I see. This is how I feel about it, and everybody can have their own perspective.
Okay,
That's
my
what
thing.
freedom is.
Let me tell you how I got where I am, and maybe that'll give you a little little more understanding about where I was coming from. The part where it says most men are arguing with me all day, all night and day on this. When he said about the woman being the head of the household, he said most men are arguing with me back and forth all day long, and that part right there is where I said what they're coming from their perspective and their life experiences and what they experienced. But
Uh-huh.
he said that they're arguing me all day long because and to have that argument, that's it's not gonna be
Okay.
it's not gonna
I
be an argument if he's not voicing his opinion and the other person voicing their opinion. And so
I
that's why I got where I was.
okay. I can explain how I understand how that's confusion.
Mm-hmm.
I will explain the argument would be more of me defending myself
Mm-hmm.
because the other male would want me to be like them. I should
Yeah.
be telling my wife what to do and so on and so on. And I'm going over here. No, I'm matriarch. You need to shut the up
Okay.
and leave me be.
Okay. That's good. That's good. But at the same time, won't you be trying to get them to kind of see your point and walk with you in what you say as well? That's what
No.
that so the argument will be just them saying what they're gonna say, they saying what you're gonna say, and you won't defend your position at all. You won't say that
Uh,
the woman is
I
this and
will. All I will do is say, look, I'm a matriarch. I believe women are better than men. If that's not what you think, you need to leave me be.
that. I think that kind of helps support what I'm saying. But Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
I mean, I understand his point of view completely.
Well, it's not. I do too. I do too. But my thing is,
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. And one, like as Ms. Cassandra was mentioning,
mm-hmm.
one, it is never my intention to get you to want to do what I do.
Okay.
How you live is how you live. Now, if you got a problem with how you live, and that's your problem.
But let me ask you a question: if you're in an argument with somebody, or you're in an argument trying to prove their point or yours?
Well, one, I don't get into a whole bunch of arguments with people.
That's not the question, brother. If you are in an argument, if you're in an argument with somebody, or you're in an argument trying to prove your point or theirs?
Well, I'm trying to prove the right point.
Well, what's to say yours is right and theirs is wrong? That puts us right back there. See, that's your perspective, but they have theirs as well.
Right.
But they have theirs as well.
I could completely care less what some other people feel.
Whether you care or not, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. My thing is everybody's going to come from their own perspective and how they feel and their own life experiences. And if we get to a point where it's an argument, if we get to the point where I think it's a problem, I really think it's a problem if we even get to that point where they're arguing. But that's what happens sometimes.
Well, here's the problem. You're arguing with someone else about their life experience.
Exactly.
See, I don't argue with people about those types of things.
Okay. I can go with that.
Because that's your life. Why would I argue with you about your life?
Bingo. I can
that's
go with
your business.
I can go with that. Okay. Let's go with Toya with a T, man. This is good, man. Y'all, I appreciate y'all. This is good. Toya with a T, what's on your heart?
Yeah, that's my thing. Hey, it's just the funny part to me, right? Because when I be listening, that's how I be feeling like you just gonna disregard somebody else's background and the fact that I'm a girl and think you know everything because you're a guy now. You gonna talk about how I feel to be a woman. And, you know what I'm saying? And really, it's not like that because there's opportunities when I talk to other women. And let me tell you something: if you're a woman that ain't never been abused, you still ain't saying nothing to me. It's still different because you haven't experienced and had to deal with what I went through. So how are you going to tell me how I should feel after I've been raped? Oh, you shouldn't feel like that. You have sex all the time anyway for free, girl. You can't just put it in your mind. You'd be surprised how these streets getting, depending on what side of the street you come from. The realer things get. And then I mix a little bit of you know what I'm saying? But no, absolutely. That's why one of the biggest things.
Toya, did we lose you? Toya with a T. I think we lost Toya. Cassandra, I think we lost Toya. What's on your heart, sis?
Yeah, I'm really big on people having their own truth. No one can explain your truth like you can.
Absolutely.
Nobody can. I mean, we just everybody has to know what is real to them, what they have experienced. Even what Toya was saying about, I totally agree with that. I've been raped, I've been molested, I've been in domestic violence, I've been, so for you to try to tell me how I should feel about that, No one has
Mm-hmm.
the right to do that,
Absolutely.
and I'm not going to allow you to do that because
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna check you. If you try to tell me how I should feel after being molested, raped, abused, how I should feel about love, how do you tell someone else how they should
Mm-hmm.
feel?
Mm-hmm.
You can give your opinion about
Yep.
how they should feel about it,
Mm-hmm.
but you have no right
Yes.
to tell me how I should
Mm-hmm.
feel about love. And
That was my
love to
point.
different people are different things.
Mm-hmm.
Believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that.
Yeah.
Love is different things. For some women, security is love. If a man makes them feel secure, she feels like that's love.
Mm-hmm.
If he protects her, she feels like that's love. You know what I'm saying? For
Mm-hmm.
some men, if you sex him good, she really loves me.
Mm-hmm.
If you keep my house clean, you really love. So it's different things to different people, and no one has a right to tell you what love looks like to
Mm-hmm.
you.
My point. That was and that was my whole point because when I was saying everybody have their own experiences, I'm gonna tell you an example, and I hope my brother don't mind me sharing this story. But when he lost his wife, my brother lost his wife to cancer a few years ago, and everybody was saying what they were saying, and I went to him. I said, "Look here, brother." I said, "Look, let me tell you something, man. I can't tell you how I can't say I understand how you feel because I'm gonna be in the car with my wife going back home when we leave here. I can't tell you how you feel, but I can tell you that I'll be there for you every step of the way if you need me. I'm not gonna sit here. People say, and people come to me, man, I know how you feel, man. I know this hurt, blah blah. No, how you know? If you haven't lost a significant other like that, how do you know? I would never go to him and say, man, I understand how you feel. Now I'm lying because I don't. I've never experienced that. Hope I never will have to experience that. But he has, and he's the one that's standing in that pain. And he and only he knows what that pain is like. And so I would never go so far as to say, I know how you feel. I don't. I don't. Then talk to me, brother. We got another call. We're gonna go to the call in just 1 second.
It gets completely personal. That's why I don't sit. Like a lot of people would have the assumption that that I'm one way or what have you. Well, one, I am very much into people telling their own story. But the thing about it is, you can't force people to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Your story is your story wherever you go.
Mm-hmm.
That belongs to you. Now, I'm the type of person I operate from the inside out. Whatever happened in your life will not become an issue in mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, a lot of people are exhausting themselves because they don't even have a practice to deal with these issues. What have you been practicing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what steps do you go through to get to where you're at that cause you to be who you are and all this type of thing? The moment someone tells me something like, "You don't know how I feel, you ain't been in my shoes," that's the conversation I'm avoiding all the time because I never wanted to be in your shoes in the first place. I don't need the extra aggravation.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be nasty about things, we don't have to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I haven't been, I'm not you. I don't even want to be you. It's about compassion. I have compassion for you. Oh, I'm beyond knowing what hurt feels like. Or are you so wanting to personalize this issue that no one can even offer you words of compassion
Mm.
because you're still lashing out at everyone else?
Mm.
So we have to learn about it's not about anyone else. It's about how you conduct yourself in every single situation in life.
Mm. Okay.
Death is coming. Start practicing dealing with it today. Will you hurt less? No. But you'll rebound a lot faster.
Mm.
When you want to heal and you want to progress, you will.
So then, am I hearing you say that some people just want to live in that sorrow?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Yes. And it's terrible. And this is why we have therapists and people to help people out of these situations. Because one, if you sit there and get to talking, it's just me, it's just me, it's just me. You're not the only human on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the only person who has lost someone. You won't be the last. Death is as common as the sun is rising and setting. There are a lot of things that we choose to personalize and to be so upset about that no one can help you. And I don't want to deal with that. I know I don't. Some people love that type of thing. I'm not going to beg you to do right. I'm not going to beg you to feel better. I'm not going to beg you to move forward. It's like even with Christ, I don't talk about love between people. I talk about God's love. I could care less about love between people changes from day to day. The only people that don't and the only people that are doing better are the people you see in better relationships. If you know what I mean, you talk about no one wants your responsibilities this way. Now they got some supermen out here. You know, women can tell me how that work out. I don't know. But if y'all looking for a knight in shining armor, I hope you find it. But I would rather encourage you to trust God first instead of man.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I think this is me. Last I checked.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Look like.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this question, Donald. Excuse me. Ask you this question, man. Does love have limits?
Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh yes and oh no.
Now, how's it gonna be both, brother? You got to explain that to me.
Oh, there's an unconditional love. There's different types of love. I ain't gonna go into the acting like I know so much. Okay, there's a friendship love. There's a relationship love. There's a godly love. There's other kinds of love. There's lust that people more likely are involved in than love. There's a like. People get caught up in not allowing love to let go of love that's lost. Now, you know, because we live in a society that everybody's grieving. How long you gonna grieve for the rest of your life? How are you gonna handle that grief? Is up to you. You can go to all the therapy. I mean, Leonard must be kin. I'm gonna have to check. I got some Joneses in my family. They keep up with the Joneses.
Lord Jesus. Okay, good deal.
You know, okay.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought, brother.
No, I was just saying, you know, when I lost I didn't lose my father or my mother. They're still here. In every one of my siblings, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-grandchildren that they had, they still live on. We got to realize it. I cry for those that's coming in. I feel sorry for them. That's the ones that don't have problems. The ones going out, you know, just unfortunately, I've and still am in my own way grieving for the loss of my grandchild. But do we stop and give up life because life goes on? Because what's the question? Say the question again.
Does love have limits? Does love have limits?
Limits. You think I stopped loving her?
No.
Or them? No. Now, how do I love them with no limits? I keep them in me and move on. Now, there are some folks that I have said, I love you. I have cut them off. Love them still, but I don't fool with them. Because that love was detrimental to my health. whatever type of love that is. I got some kinfolk, you know that I got some kinfolk that I don't fool with, but they're crazy.
Thank you, Donald.
I'm just saying. Now they can't come to my house, but they can. And you cannot. Now, let me tell you something. Here's the love that you limited love. They can't come to my house, but you better not fool with them. You're going to have family problems.
Yeah.
Let me show this. Let me shut up. My brother, and I think I said that before, my two brothers got into a scuffle. These are brothers now. I'm there watching. Probably trying to stop them or whatever the case may be. My first cousin comes, hey, y'all stop that. Man, I'm telling him, man, this family, you better get out of here before you get tore out the front. So the love that I have for my first cousin, was limited.
Yeah.
Because me and my brothers were there and we had a family of immediate family issue. Back up, cuz. Because your love is not like that. It hasn't excelled to that point.
Now, let me ask you the question, Donald. Would you have got him? Would you have got him if he didn't step back? Would you have got him?
He would have had to win, lose, or draw. So would have. I'm telling you.
Rico, good morning.
So, yeah, love has limits.
Absolutely. Yeah. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Grand Rising, man. How everybody doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Question for you: does love have limits?
Definitely does. Definitely does. It has limits because when it gets to the point where the person that I love or I'm supposed to love crosses a line, does enough damage, disrespects or violates me to a certain extent, then you have to cancel some love out. I put it to you this way. Some family members have family members that rape their children. They used to love that family member. They probably trusted that family member for that family member to have access to that child. And then all of a sudden they find out for 12 years, they've been putting something inside these children that you didn't know they was doing. But you ain't going to continue to love somebody like that, especially if they really damage your child. You know, so, it has limits, you know. And I was listening earlier when y'all was talking about the debate between, I guess, judging what other people do or whatever. And, you know, at the same time, I guess we do have to realize that everybody has their own experience. Every experience is unique. And one thing about human nature is that people are going to find whatever way they can to make themselves feel good. Sometimes people find dysfunctional ways to make themselves feel good. Some people find ways to make themselves feel good by addictions, like smoking crack. You know, and so on the outside looking in, you may have an opinion on how somebody is choosing to find their comfort level. And what they need to do to find their comfort level, we can't say anything about that. Maybe that's the only time they feel good is when they smoke crack or snort that coke. Maybe the only time they feel good is when they hit that vein with that heroin. You get what I'm saying? But the thing is that we can't get persecuted for having enough concern to let this person know that, okay, whatever you're doing now is making you feel good right now, but later on, it may kill you. The ultimate game may be your demise. So, human being, you have to have concern. You might have to impart your will, your opinion, your values, what you think on how somebody else lives. You're true enough. Everybody has their own life. They have their own choice. And, you know, but I think for those that believe in a higher power or believe in God or Jesus or whatever they believe in, I think they still got to remember that we're supposed to have a certain amount of love for mankind, our neighbors, you know what I'm saying, everybody else on this earth, just like we have the same amount of love for us. So are we supposed to separate the type of love we have for our own brothers and parents that we have for our neighbors? I heard what Donald said that about his cousin and his brothers, and I'm the same way. But are we supposed to be doing that? Are we supposed to be showing favoritism with our love? Especially if those siblings or those parents might be our biggest abusers or bullies.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Toya with a T. Welcome back, sis. What's on your heart?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's on your heart, sis?
No, man. I mean, hey, I think that's the point. That's why we individuals, right? Because different people got different limitations. You got Bonnie and Clyde situations out here going on. Some of us might turn at the sight of it, but some of us might love that person beyond our kid or whatever, and trust and believe a little bit of everybody finds a way their religion can relate to it, But at the end of the day, we got to know the truth to know what we're really up against, what's really considered to be good or bad, because there are moms that know that their biological dad touched their kids. There are biological dads that has touched their kids. I can't fathom that. A lot of us can't. But the fact of the matter is, for whatever reason, it is what it is. And people stay together, But again, everybody sets their own limitations.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear of a perfect world and say, I don't want that, because we can use whatever excuse we want to. Nobody's going to make a change until you decide to make a change.
Mm-hmm.
Your choice, your opinion, your power, your dominion, from whatever walk of life you come from wherever you come from, man, there's something in you that's going to tell you what's right or what's wrong. And you're going to have to decide what you want to use your power to do. And sometimes when it's wrong being done against you, to do the right thing is deep. You know what I'm saying? But and we all set our limits, and we all know what's right and wrong to our core, and we all decide to negotiate that when we don't do the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. Curtis, welcome back, brother. We're talking about, does love have limits? Does love have limits, Curtis? What do you say to that? Oh, we lost Curtis again. Badger, talk to me, brother.
One of the things that me and my wife talked about as our relationship's gone on are things like love languages and differences between love being in love. That's what I was, kind of referencing when I was talking about, I think there's different levels of love and things like that. I'm trying to figure out how to talk about this topic because I'm definitely seeing that a lot of the teachings that have been passed down to me through my culture, there's very much a difference in a lot of the perceptions and opinions of what it is and things like that. And like differences in between how men and women should respond to each other.
Forwarded to an automated voice message.
Go ahead.
Or could respond to each other and things like that. So I'm also seeing how the word love fluctuates depending on the culture that the person is around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. And I think what I'm hearing Badger say, which is a beautiful thing, man. He's saying that understanding. There have to be a certain understanding, and you have to understand across the board of of who it is, and so I think that's a beautiful thing. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I heard when Cassandra was speaking earlier, and she made it clear. And pretty much you were saying the same thing. It's just that I think everybody was pretty much getting it confused. It seemed like everybody was saying the same thing. It's really hard to tell somebody from the outside looking in that they are wrong for this or wrong for that without having some kind of level of understanding. So therefore, if you do find yourself in a position where you want to judge somebody because it's out of concern, first off, it needs to be out of concern if you even having that conversation with anybody about their wrong or right. But then if you have that kind of concern and you want to judge them, at least have the be mindful enough to listen to them, see if you and why they feel that way, because the reason why they feel that way, it may be legitimate, even though it's warped.
Yeah.
Because some people have a dysfunctional programming, and the way that they learn to accept certain things, in general, it may be completely illogical. They don't see it's normal to them. You know, we always know that not only is everybody life unique, but at the same time, you know, it's like we just not gonna have the same experience.
Exactly.
The perception of everything is different. So the best thing to do is to at least get some understanding about why they feel the way they feel. Because I mean, like I said, we all know that you can't do any better if you don't know any better.
Exactly. We got a couple of callers just called in. Callers, we're coming to you in just 1 second. Please hold on. But right now, I want to go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
I'm not judgmental with people. I really am not. So everyone's experience is unique to them. What I do know that love and I think Al Green did the song. He said, "It'll make you do right, make you do wrong." I'm serious. When people, I mean, that thing right there, he ain't never said nothing more true. I mean, I've known people to do, and I've done some stupid stuff talking about I'm in love. You understand what I'm saying? So I think sometimes rationale can go right out the window. That's why I don't judge people, because when you in love with people, sometimes your rationale can go straight out the window. And you know, Leonard said, you know, like that's your business. I ain't got nothing to do with what's going on, you know, with you. I'm not gonna worry about it though. You know, and that's, I mean, you have to sort of take that attitude, and even though I'm an advocate for so many different things, but it's just, I believe that people have to live their own experience until they realize that something is wrong with the love. Then they're going to continue to love like that.
Watch this, Cassandra.
Until they realize there's something wrong with it.
Exactly. Watch this, Cassandra. I'm gonna give you a test real quick. See, can you pass this test? And then I'm gonna go to Curtis. Curtis back in. Then we got another call from the 816 area code. Who is this? Love is joy, love is pain, love is laughing in the rain. I got joy on my mind. Love is always right on time. Who is that?
I don't know.
Anybody?
It sounds familiar, but I don't know who that is.
Anybody know what that song came from? Anybody know who's singing that song? Anybody? Oh.
You there?
We have to hit a melody. We have to hit a melody with it, man.
Look, that's what I'm saying. If you threw that melody in there, I could get it.
Now y'all know a brother can't sing. They ain't got no melody in me, man. I can't.
Just don't sing it, Raheem. Just don't sing it. Oh.
Okay.
I can't even think of the lady that sing that song. I just played it like 3 times in my car.
Love is joy.
Talk it fast, Raheem.
Okay. Here you go. Love is joy. Love is pain. Love is laughing.
You bit it right.
I got love on my mind. Love is always right on time.
Cole, Natalie Cole.
There you go. There you go.
Okay. That's my daddy's girl. I could not think of singing that song.
Appreciate you, Doc.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Our Love. The name of the song is Our Love. It came to my mind when you said about that yeah. Let's go to Curtis. Curtis, does love have limits?
I guess for some it does. For most it does. For me, I love you, man. Like, you know, it's neither here nor there. I love what you are, not what I believe you can be, not what I hope you become, but I love what you are, and where you choose to be. Sometimes if you go beyond that, I believe that you can set yourself up for failure, because sometimes we set these measurements for that, and the person realistically can't meet that.
Mm-hmm.
And they trying to tell you, that, look, I can't beat that, you know what I mean? But you don't hear it. But I got two things I want to read, bro, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Life can be many things: a gift, a challenge, or a curse. All depends on the road you take and the doors you walk through. That's by Zakaria McNeil. The other one is, just because you lost me as a friend, don't make you my enemy. I'm bigger than that. I still want to see you eat. I just don't want you to eat at my table. And that came from Tupac Shakur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you know, when you look at the whole circumference of love, man, and you really play it back in your mind, I mean, to be truthful, it has hurt more times than it felt good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so powerful that you always on a quest, or we always find ourselves on a quest to rekindle that moment when it really did feel good. That's all I'm gonna say right here. I don't want you to tell me, okay, I gotta go to somebody else. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Well, thank you, brother. Thank you. Look at I'm gonna go. We got 816 area code. Who that is? 816.
Hey.
That's K with an E.
Hey, she's finest on.
What's going on? I asked the question: does love have limits? Does love have limits? What do you say to that?
Yes, you know why love has limits? Because people make love have limits. We love unconditionally.
Everybody mute your line. So everybody mute your line. We got some background noise coming from somebody's line. Mute your line for me. Go ahead, Kay.
I love unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
But to just love like you love a person, and they just keep doing things against your wishes, your liking. But I love you, but I don't like what you do. I'm cool on you. I love you from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
That's when that love from a distance come in. But love can get you in trouble.
No.
That's what love do. And then some people don't have no love. Like, I done seen people like, what is wrong with her? Like, and then you figure it out. They don't love nobody but themselves. Some people just love themselves. And you can tell when people love themselves. They talk about, they want this. I have a little friend that she loves herself. And she got kids. And she walk around here and it's just don't have them. And she don't have a worry in the world. Like, she is by herself whatever. And she doesn't have a worry in the world. When that child gets sick, I pray that those kids come to her side. Because she don't love nobody. She loves the world. And the world ain't going to come to you when you need somebody.
Exactly.
That's when you need to love people. Because when you get down, because we all got that chance of coming, you need somebody to love on you. And so it's important. I think it's very important to love people and love them from the heart. Don't just love them because God say love somebody.
Yeah.
He knows if you really love that person, unconditionally or not. You got to really love on people. Because everybody going to need somebody one day.
Absolutely. Tucson, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
How about, let me ask a question. And I know that we say that even God has an unconditional love, agape love. Y'all gonna have to work with me on this, Leonard. Because even through his unconditional love, if everything that's said is true, some people still gonna bust hell wide open. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Rico, talk to me, brother. Leonard, coming to you next.
Yeah, I'm still on that same page, man. I mean, you know, you gotta have, I ain't gonna say you gotta have, but me, I just don't believe that we can achieve unconditional love. I know it sounds good. I believe we should, attempt to. In a perfect world, we would have unconditional love. But it's pretty much impossible for you to love somebody that has caused you loss, continuous loss and pain, of yourself. So we can say we love from a distance and this and that, and depending on the level of the betrayal or the violation, we will love from a distance. I have people that I love from a distance, but then sometimes even when you love from a distance, those people continue to do things. Like I said, you just think about a Ted Bundy or Hitler. You know what I'm saying? How many Jews gonna have an unconditional love for Hitler, especially if they saw firsthand and experienced what went on back then? In a perfect world, that would be nice for us to say that. You know what I'm saying? I wish that there was no hate or anything involved, or that we could say that was unconditional love. You're supposed to love everybody. No limits. That would be nice to say. There should be no limits to love. But there's so much bad in this world that you just can't love everything and everybody. Or you'll be embracing it. You'll be supporting that, the wrongdoing also. You'll be supporting and embracing and loving those that do cause pain and harm to children and women and other people because of their race. You will still be loving Dylan Roos and that guy that went and shot up the Smalls, you know what I'm saying? So Derek Chauvin, the guy that put his knee on George Floyd's neck. So I mean, unconditional love it would be very hard for me to love somebody that has so much hate and non-compassion, non-concern for other people's lives, especially when it's based on whatever reasons that they have to hate people or mistreat them.
That's good. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, I'm listening because like I say, a lot of people have different views of the issue on what they think love is or what have you, and you're entitled to that.
Yeah,
you don't have to make excuses for it. If you love someone, you love someone. You ain't got to explain it. If you can't, why are you trying to explain that? You should be doing that. It's very people who love you act a certain way. People who love you treat you a certain way. I think some people are having a harder time accepting the fact that the certain people don't love them.
That's good. That's good.
See, a lot of folks out here, they're fighting for the wrong thing. And so this is why they have these issues. If you chose something, now you want everybody else to love it. So that doesn't work that way. I already told folks, that's one of my biggest issues with Christianity. But that's between me and God. It has nothing to do with you. Because it's too complicated an issue for the human mind on unconditional love. Closest you come, I believe, is my children. And it's because I made them. So that this thing where you want everything to be love may be misplaced. The excuses you use love for is misplaced. An old man told me one time, never lie on love, period. Even if she treated you bad, don't deny the love you had for her. Because if it was real, that's what it was. If it was really real, that's exactly what it was. Too many people go out of their way to try, I'm going to show you I love you. No, you're not. You're going to do what you do best. And material things and things like that only go so far. You have to be like, say, for a lot of people with, I guess they would consider me, well, when your wife got sick and she still was my wife. I still loved her. She was just sick. Same with me. So if you begging for it, something wrong. Something is truly wrong. This need, it's a deal with parental attachment in the beginning, has a big deal to do with how you love people. But my mother used to say, don't let people love you any kind of way. And you need to put the limits on your love. See, I like my love a certain way. And if you can't give it to me like that, I don't want it.
So you like a certain ingredient in your love, basically what you're saying. Let me go
yes, most definitely.
Let me go to Badger. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Just trying to figure out how to share things, because like I mentioned earlier, you know, with the teachings that's been passed down to me and stuff, you know, like take aside the trauma and stuff that I experienced, you know, because it's the teachings that got me through all my trauma. You know, love toward my kiddos and my wife, and you know, the respect I have for women, which I'm something that my respect towards women and children are probably one of my most passionate beliefs. And I get real sad because of things I hear when it comes in regards to especially women. And even more so when it comes to creator and the creation that's all around us. So I feel like they're once again, you know, I kind of used the terminology that I know of. You know, I think love is very much misused. Because I think a lot of the meaning of what love has been miscued or skewed. Sorry. And I was trying to think of how to like go further into what I'm trying to explain from, you know, my viewpoints. Like I didn't lust for my wife when I met her. I've never really been a lustful person. You know, there was just, she smiled at me, then I smiled back, and it just clicked. And we've been together ever since.
Coming to my head today. Go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead.
No, these songs coming to my head when people saying some of these songs. Old Lenny Williams. She smiled at me.
Yeah, and that's all it took. So, you know, but I've also in the past, you know, been with women. But like I said before, you know, the trauma part of my brain, I couldn't tell a woman no. But when I met my wife, she wanted me to say no. So she's actually taught me how to get past my trauma.
That's good.
So it's very interesting, and I'm processing, you know, other people's viewpoints on it, because I realize some of them are so different from mine and the teachings that were passed down to me through word of mouth tradition. That some of it's kind of shocking to me, because it just
it's okay.
It doesn't make sense. And that's why I view that the word love is very much misused. And like, how many people can honestly, you know, tell the difference between a man and a woman? Are you lusting? Are you really in love, or are you in love?
There's different. And like it's been said, there's different layers, and some people, Cassandra, don't really know what love really even looks like. Some people don't know what love look like.
I totally agree. I mean, because a lot of people have not really seen what true love, and when I say true love, I want to go back to us being, as those of us that are Christians, as Christians, what agape looks like, and what, you know, storge, you know, agape, you know, phileo. We need to be able to know what those types of love look like, and then we can get a better understanding of why some people uh, don't don't get that type of love. I have agape love for people, always have. Even people that don't like me, it doesn't matter. You don't have to like me, but I agape you because that is a part of who I am as a Christian. I may not like the way you treat me, and you may not like me, period, for whatever reason. But my love for you is going to be there. And if I can help somebody, even people I know that don't like me, I still will help them because of agape. So, it's all about us knowing what it is to us. You understand? And that's
Okay,
why I'm very transparent.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
don't mean to interrupt, but I have a real what's agape? I don't know that word.
Agape is what is called in the Bible godly love, which is unconditional. It doesn't matter, like God loves us unconditionally. So we can be a total mess, but He still loves us. And that's what He asks us to do with other people, to love them unconditionally, not because of what they've done to us, not because of none of that. We should, but we should just love them.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Cassandra, is
We
it
do a lot
possible?
of
Do you
stuff for nothing, right?
hey,
Huh?
It's
hey,
okay, though.
I think
I
that's
can send this.
hey, mute your line, Donald. Cassandra, do you think it is possible?
Got a ship out for you coming up.
Do you think it's Tucson? Mute your line, Tucson. Cassandra, do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible for a couple to be together for 30, 40, 50 years and not be in love with each other?
Yes, yes. Because I've talked to people that have been married longer than that, and
Wow.
they said, it wasn't. They first of all, some people didn't get married on the premise of love. Think about that. It's a lot of people that got married for alternative reasons. They didn't get married because they were in love with the person. So you're not going. I mean, sometimes people end up falling in love with the person, as they say, falling in love. But it's people that marry for different reasons, for financial security, for whatever, whatever it may be. So yeah, there are loveless marriages.
Wow.
Where they just there.
Occupying the space. Wow. Rico, what's on your
Yep.
heart?
Yeah, marriages out of status, arranged marriages, in other countries, other cultures, So I mean that all goes
Yep.
like what you were saying earlier, man. You got people that come from different cultures and different backgrounds that believe and practice things that works for them and their culture and their people and their country, wherever they are. The way they practice things works for them. So it would really be hard for you to impose your belief on them. But now, if you want to introduce them, see, that's a big difference when you're imposing your idea of love or your belief system on somebody, and then when you're introducing them. And sometimes they might not even ask. That's even with Christianity sometimes. You have people that come and try to encourage you to go to church, get involved in church, come and turn your life over to Christ and this and that. Some people can be very abrasive. They can come and try to get you to join in, and you be like, man, these jokers, they aggressive, man. I mean, then you got some they're not that aggressive. They introduce you to it in such a way that you find an interest in it. And you say, well, you know what? I want to find out about this. If I ain't mistaken, I don't know how it happened for you, but I knew you were Muslim at one point in time, and then you changed over from Christianity. I've met people before that approached me in such a way that it made me interested in listening to what they had to say. Jehovah's Witness, NOI. I've listened to those people who had an open mind, and the way they introduced me and approached me introduced it to me, I was more than receptive. I almost was convinced, but that's how it goes when you open your mind and listen to people. You might find something that's favorable in that and say, well, you know what, man, I think I might find out a little bit more about this. But it's all about the approach. If you approach people wrong, they'll think you're trying to impose something on them. Really, truly, not be. You're just trying to tell them something good, tell them something that they might not know about.
Help them out, basically. Toya T, talk to me. What's on your heart, sis? And Kay, coming to you next.
Yeah, I don't know what you might think is helping somebody out. They might not want to help. How about that?
Yeah.
You know, it's just all about being there for people. Some people, you know what? Some people feel entitled. This is where entitlement and privilege, and I had to check myself with this. You feel entitled because of what you've been through to be able to get a pass and do this. Oh, well, I've been abused. Oh, I think so. I'm going to do this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you're entitled to go through this, that, and the third now since you divorced or whatever. Whatever you feel like you're entitled to because you done did. You know what I'm saying? And I'm noticing that, you know, especially like when we get older. Oh, I'm entitled to doing this, that, and the third. My kid's grown. You know, little subtle things we rationalize that, you know, under ordinary circumstances, had you not been through so much, probably in a struggling kind of way, that you would embrace. You know what I'm saying? Most people that have a bunch of kids, if they got the finances, right? Rich people, millionaires, right? Yeah, they love having kids. They're like, yeah, no problem, because you know they meet all their needs, you know, and just keep on rolling. But you get caught down here in love with folk, it can be one man that you love that make decent money. But if you ain't making real good money and you start having 5, 6, 7 of them guys, it becomes a struggle, and you're gonna be like, wait a minute, hold up, now listen. That is getting a little rough now. I need to go ahead and cut that off. And then, you know, for those that don't, there's still dire consequences to it, man. At the end of the day, we ain't coming up for ball busting no rock. We all know what society says, what our environment expectation are, what our culture expectation is, you know, and it's real simple. So we all got the choice to make up our mind and do what we want to do. Some things as culture just don't work for people no more. You know what I'm saying? Some things that was once culture are being broken, and new cultures are being set forth because some cultures may have been too barbaric for some. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is, man. We all got the power to evolutionize things for the greater good. And I just think that, you know, just getting to know each other, communicate, and understand this right here, this dialogue right here, this conversation right here, get to understand each other is what's going to help us be able to mend and build and deal with our situations as they come along.
Good deal. Cable to E, what's on your heart, sis?
Oh, nothing. Love. I love people until they give me a reason not to love them. I mean, you know, I don't have to show you no love. Other than that, I love you. I don't have to show you none. I love you. That's enough. When I see you, I speak and I keep it moving. And that person could say, well, she spoke. Well, then that means she still loves you. She just ain't liking what you're doing. Well, she loves you. And I tell people, don't mix my love up with my life. I'm commanded to love you. I love you.
Okay, what
a person knocked on my door yesterday that I have not dealt with like in a year. I know I haven't dealt with them. We grew up together, and his cousin knock on her door like she don't care. I don't care y'all into it or whatever. Knock on her door for me. I ain't getting out the car. And he knocked on my door. Knock on it some more. I'm listening, laughing, I'm cracking up because he's scared to knock on the door. Like I ain't fooling with that lady. He knocked on the door. I went to the door. I gave him a hug and everything. Like I couldn't be a child of God and, you know, not accept it. So I gave him a hug and everything. He laughed about it. He's like, you something else, boy. When you say you ain't fooling with people. And I just told him, don't do the things you be doing because I don't have to fool with you.
Yeah.
And I tell people that. That ain't something I have to do. I don't have to.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Go on.
Exactly. Let me ask you this question. How often is it that people misinterpret a physical act, and I'm being clean the way I'm saying this, a physical act with love?
Easy, because like I have a friend and everybody's like, well, one of his family members, he got a girlfriend, I don't care. Me and him been friends. And I don't matter if we was in a relationship for 12 years and now it didn't work out, but we're still friends. And if he knock on the door and just need to talk, need a place to sleep, need something to eat, I'm going to always be here. Like, I'm just that type of friend. And I love this person. I love all my people. The person that I opened my door to yesterday, if he needed a place to stay, he knows he can knock on Kay's door, and she's gonna let him go to sleep, let him take a shower, and feed him, and make sure he's good. Because that's just me. I don't care about nothing else. I don't care if you got 10 wives. I'm not one of them. And if you come to me and you need me and I can help you, I'm gonna help you. And I'm gonna tell your wives if they need me and I can help them, I'm gonna help them too. And they didn't understand that, and they just took it all the way different. But everybody else is like, we love your ways. Like, if we don't know nothing else about you, we know when this particular person is in your presence, we don't even got to worry about them. We know they okay.
That's
and
good.
So I'm good with that. But people do mislook at it, mislead it, all that.
Toya, what do you say to that? How often do people misinterpret a physical act? And you know what I mean when I say a physical act with love.
Oh yeah, all the time. I've been taught from a young girl, get a straight out answer. Say what you mean what you say. But no, we do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? But that goes back to setting. We know as individuals what we're doing, and we can't expect the other people to be more responsible for us than they even are being for themselves. If it's not something that they do for themselves, they ain't gonna do it and make sure that you do the right thing. Because look at what they're already doing to themselves.
Yeah.
So to allow him to lead you, knowing you're doing something wrong, knowing he's doing something wrong, and you gonna allow him to lead you, that's because you identifying with the same things y'all do wrong. And when his escalates or hers escalates, then you confused now. But no, that's what you're dealing with. You don't know the depth of that water. Only thing you decided to do is just put your foot in there, and if it's a little deeper than what you get, then that's supposed to be a learning experience. So next time, you know to be prepared. So when you come up on a puddle of water, you're going to be like, nah, I'm going to walk around. Because last time I fell all the way down to the bottom. It's hard for me to get back up.
Exactly. And Rico, how often is people think that they can use material things to buy love?
All the time. I mean, I'm glad you said that, because there's so many different things that people equate to love. One thing people really equate to love is attention. You know, they don't feel like you love them if you don't give them any attention. Prime example is a child. A child that lacks attention from their parents, they might perceive that as not getting enough love. You know what I'm saying? Every time somebody come around, my mom and them go and talk to them, but then when they leave, she don't never talk to me. I go and help me with my homework. I go and ask my daddy to take me outside and play ball with me. He always want to run off with his friends. He always picking his friends over me. So that lack of attention when your parents or whoever that you are looking for this attention from, 9 out of 10, you want attention from those that you love the most, right? Something in human nature we just have to equate as natural instinct. You know, prime example, we was talking about Kirk Franklin last night, and I'm still hearing people saying, man, that boy was wrong for recording his dad, that boy was wrong for recording his dad. And I'm like, man, did you ever think that when Kirk said that the boy had threatened to record him at first, it was something that was being said in the past that boy knew that the public or Kirk didn't want the public to hear. You know what I'm saying? But on the outside looking in, everybody was looking at the fact that he recorded him. It already been warned about. I'm going to be recorded. I'm going to record you. You get what I'm saying? So I'm sort of lost on how I tied that in now. But you know, it's just a matter of attention. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you really got to have attention from the person that you love or people that you expect that, you know, to love you the way they're supposed to. But you know, it doesn't happen that way all the time. So we have to understand it on the outside looking in, understand why a person is the way that they are. When they tell you that they didn't get certain nurturing or they were neglected at home. When they say, you know, hey, my parents didn't give me any quality time. You know, that's another behavior that's associated with love, quality time. You know, the word love is actually an easy word to say. I can tell people love them all day long, but I know good and well when how I really feel inside when I love somebody. that's totally different. And I definitely don't mean that to everybody that I said to. Not mine, not my definition of love.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Not the full definition.
about the attention and the intimacy, you know.
Got you. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Man, I'm just sitting here listening. You know, I don't really have anything to say right now because I'm listening.
Okay. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
I think one of the things that I mentioned earlier when I heard someone speaking, and as it relates to agape love.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't for everybody. I have very different feelings about certain things like that because I think that all love is on condition between men. It's all about condition.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to do whatever you want to me and I still love you.
Mm.
I don't get down like that. It's like I don't have no plan to love my enemies ever. So I mean this issue with loving people regardless of how they treat you, I'm not down with it all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different because God is love.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can love brother to brother and erotically and things like that, but God's love is extremely different. It's not anything I think that human beings, like I say, you create your children. So that's pretty much, I believe, where a lot of that comes from. But then you also have people who make children who don't care anything about them at all.
Mm. Mm.
They're just products of a good time. And these people don't love their children. And that's why their children act out the way they do. Because that first attachment is between mother and child.
Yes.
And if that attachment is irregular, it affects how the child develops, especially if nothing replaces it. Now, I believe at a certain point, a man has to be a man. And I think that's a huge difference from a lot of other people. I do not care for weak men. I think they need to work on those things. If you're too emotional, you got to go to work. I mean, there's a responsibility that comes with certain relationships and things of that nature that are far more important. And like you say, some people were married. We can sit around and talk about other people's marriages all we want, but it's not beneficial. It's what type of marriage are you in? Because you never know what someone has. You don't know that they don't love one another. I mean, unless they tell you. I mean, there are certain people who may tell you they don't love somebody, but everything they do and what you're over there for. What is the reason? What really is the reason? The Bible even makes a comment about the mystery of God's love for you. Why God does this? Why does he do? It's something about this love that he has for us that even being all powerful allows him to have grace and mercy on us.
Good deal. Cassandra, is love an action word?
To me, it is. To me, it is. When you love somebody, you do what you can to help them, to protect them, and that's and it's different things, different types of action for different people, and I just if God says that his commandment is that we love each other like he loves us, if his love is absolute and uncompromised, then that's the way our love is. And that even, and it says to love your enemies. I mean, the Bible says that. Now, I mean, we don't have to go by that, of course, because we all, we do what we want to do. But I'm talking about what the Bible says. The Bible says we're to love our enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So we can pick and choose, which ones we do and which one we don't. I choose to love people, even those that don't love me, don't like me. I choose that. That's my choice. Somebody else may choose not to, but that's their business. It's okay. But I just want to, none of us is perfect, and I'm one of the most imperfect people I know. I'll be the first one to say that. But one thing I can say, I love people in spite of how they treat me. I don't care who it is. The person that raped me, I forgave them. You have to be able to forgive people and love them in spite of. If we're going to do it God's way, if we're going to do it our way, then keep on doing it our way. And there's no problem with that for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Leonard said, everybody make up their own mind what they're going to do about stuff. You understand? He chooses the way he want to do it. I choose the way I want to do it. Everybody has their individual choice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Toy, you with a T, talk to me. Donna, coming to you next. Toya?
I'm sorry, I'm fighting with the mute button. But yeah, no, man, let me tell you something. The beautiful thing about life is choice. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we get here today. Everybody got their own beliefs and what they feel is the rights and what they feel is the wrongs. We got those people who take some of the rights and make them wrongs, and some of the wrongs and make them in the rights. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think it's just really important that, again, we got to talk about it. This is the communication you need to have with the person that you're getting ready to get into that relationship with. This is the understanding you need to get. If you dealing with a Muslim and you a Christian and you feel like, you know what I'm saying, if you have this conversation, then you know if y'all gonna be getting a divorce later on or not. But at the end of the day, just because you don't believe differently, to believe the same, I mean, you have to get a divorce. Because if you choose to make a commitment to that person and act like you got some sense, and that person chooses to make a commitment to you and act like they got some sense, undeniably it can work. The tricky part coming is when folks want to do carrying on and the one that got no sense, and then want to, well, you love me, then y'all should beat you upside your head. You love me, you should be able to go broke on me and let me sit up there and not do nothing, but I want you to just do everything for me, and I just want to sit up there and just do nothing for you back. Then you want people to just prove these extents that good and doggone well ain't got nothing to do with love. It got to do with whatever your egotistical needs are inside. You have an accountability you got to face for that too, whether you man or woman. You use your sexuality to have somebody knocked off if you want to. It's a price you're gonna have to pay for that.
Yeah.
And if you use your position as a king to be weak for a woman to knock somebody off, that ain't right. But you want to use it and do it for the weakness of her anyway. Consequence that's gonna come with that. With every little move we make, every little step we take, I say everybody notice and recognize their power, notice their dominion, and just use it to make the right choices, and we'll be okay.
Absolutely. Toussaint, talk to me.
Yeah, it's I can tell I can have a best friend or a companion. But and I say I love them. But fool with my kids, see how they're gonna turn out. It kind of gives me an option, or a level of love, one above another. I was thinking about I'm taking my time because I was reading about when the disciples following Jesus, and I'm sorry I have to go there because that's all I know. I don't know much else.
Okay.
And Peter denies Christ, right? Jesus comes up to him and said, Peter, come on now. Do you love me? He said, oh, yeah. Then he asked him again. He said, yes, I love you. And he asked him again. He said, you're the only one who knows it. because we get to the point that we even question ourselves based
Come on.
on the circumstances, situations, or what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to another person, because in any given incident, it depends on what we do is based on what a person does and how we interact with them.
Mm-hmm.
Even with your companion. And there was no, I ain't gonna go there. Just let them do the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
That goes totally against the grain. Because we have in all of our lives, I'm just saying, we have all of in our lives, and we'll tell anybody at any given time, you didn't cross the line.
Mm-hmm.
So when a person crossed the line, do you still have that same level of love for them? Because we all have an ex something, even an ex life, a past life, past.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, good morning. This is Bishop.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, blessed and highly favored. How about you?
Hey, doing blessed as well, brother. Asking the question: does love have limits? Does love have limits, Bishop? What do you say to that?
No, love itself doesn't have limits. Love is a faction of the heart that allows you to overcome ignorance, whether it be with a loved one or anybody. Bible says love never fails.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what establishes limits is what we're willing to put up with. And if I'm in an abusive relationship, I would love you, but I think I love you more from afar.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not going to be in a relationship that you're going to be disrespecting me, fighting on me, and cussing at me, and doing everything you can to hurt me. Now, I still love you, but I don't mean not to be with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you come through and you have to rightly divide, what love looks like and how it's supposed to be disseminated. Because if we try to hold back what we should be giving to our partners or to our loved ones, the things that we want in return, then we defrauding them and actually defrauding ourselves as well.
Mm-hmm.
So no, you just have to identify and understand the difference between love, lust. Because when lust plays out and there is no love in the relationship, but the friendship ends. But when there's true love, the Bible says, I didn't say it.
Mm-hmm.
Love never fails.
Yeah. Rico, what happens if a person was with somebody for a while and they was in love with this person, and then you ask them, you say, "Oh, y'all still together?" Say, "Nah, not really. I fell out of love with them. I fell out of love." What's that reality?
The reality is that they love things about them. They love ways about them. Maybe they did love their money. Maybe they did love their stature.
Mm-hmm.
Of the person that the public image that they portray. But then once they got to know him behind closed doors, they realize, man, this joker don't like to brush his teeth.
Mm.
I can't put up with this no more.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? I mean, and so it gets to a point where you have to get to know somebody to love them in a different way. So you got an in general love, like they would say with that to me. I think there's agape love. But the thing is if you don't know what love is, like I knew about agape love and eros love, but then I heard Cassandra say some other words. It showed you the different levels of love, first off. So now how can you have an unconditional love when you got different levels? You can't have unconditional love at different levels. I mean, that's or there would be no need to me to have levels. It's still gonna be
Well, see, my thing is this, right, and somewhat try to answer your question. I don't know if I'm gonna answer it directly or not. I hope I do. But there's different kind of love. Like you have a love for your wife, you can have a different love for your kids, and a love for your mother, and then like I say, when you say about the godly love, there's so many different levels. You're not gonna love your children the same way you love your wife.
right. But see, that's still an intimate love. That's still different levels of love.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You still loving the next life, next life out of respect, the same respect. Yeah, true enough, it's gonna be more intimate.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying, but unconditional love, I just see some instances where that can't be accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
unconditional love. I mean, you know, like I said, I can't figure. I know people right now that they really hate their parent, the father or the mother, because of maybe a violation that occurred. That no kind of love involved in it. It was pure hate, you know. I mean, so you know, I just if you don't know what love is, you know, you could go looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
And in order to find that comfort, like I said, that good feeling, you will embrace some of the wrong things. I ain't gonna say you, but some people embrace some of the wrong things because it's a temporary fix. Temporary fix, and that means they still don't know what love is. You know, we complicate it with all these levels. You know, when we easily just talk about in general love. Now, true enough, you ain't gonna have the same I'm gonna say drive to be intimate with the same person that you get married to, but then if you don't have a pure understanding, you will confuse that intimacy with lust. You know, so if, like I said, you need to really know what love is, you know, because you'll be out here sleeping with everybody and telling people you love them left and right, and really not knowing exactly how to show it and don't have a clue what love really is.
No, not an idea. Toya, what's on your heart, sis?
You know, the problem is we got to know what real love is, right? Because we're going to identify love with whatever we brought from home. You know, a girl told me one time when I got in trouble for beating that boy back, right? She said, Toya, what's the problem? I don't feel love if my man don't beat me. I'm like, what? Girl, no. Don't get me wrong. I like to fight, but I know that's not normal in no relationship. I know that's not the relationship I want. I want peace at my home. I want to be good. I want to get up and feel like you're doing everything you're supposed to do. So let me get up and cook and clean and hold my part down and help you out. I want to feel like that. So, you know, I got a level of expectation, but beating on me ain't one of them. But that was her version of love. I didn't go back and forth with her about what love was, but I knew not to listen to it. You understand what I'm saying? Because
didn't make sense to you. Didn't make sense to you.
To me.
Yeah.
But there are places where people fit in and they gather there. That's where they feel most comfortable. That's what they choose to accept. It's nothing nobody else can tell me to want to accept abuse. But if I was in that abusive relationship, it's nothing nobody else can tell me to get out until I made up my mind to make whatever move was determined on me and not nothing that nobody else said. And that's the power that everybody has. And unfortunately, it's complicated when the most of us see some of us choose to get abused and nationalize it like it's normal. You know what I'm saying? But that's their life. That's what they want to them. If that's not wrong, you know, they live in that. But hey, we all got our choice, and hopefully, again, we're using our power and dominion to do the right thing, because our generations after us are going to pick up on everything that we do, if it's the right or the wrong thing.
Exactly. Bishop, what's on your heart?
I'm just listening, man, and well, I like what everybody's saying, and I appreciate the fact of knowing I've been in a relationship with my wife for 41 years now, and we have not agreed on everything. Neither have we seen everything eye to eye. But what allowed us to stay together was that strong affection towards each other, which we equate as to being love. And the reason so many folks fall out is, like I said earlier, we're dealing with lust. When Rico was speaking about the different levels, I would have to say that's true. There are different levels. What I have for my wife is different from what I have for my children. Still love. And the love I have for my parents is still love. But each affection is a little bit different, and it's applied differently towards each individual. So you got to look at what love really looks like, what it consists of. And I keep saying, what does love look like? The word love itself is supposed to be a verb, and the actions are the deeds that you do. So if you're not doing anything to make that relationship or that friendship work, then did you love them or did you use them for the time period in which you wanted to?
Yeah.
Go back to what I said earlier. Love never fails, and love itself is unconditional.
So they're just filling the void. So they're just filling the void at that particular point in time in your life.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
You know, I think the word love should not just be generally used.
Mm-hmm.
And I think more parents should be doing looking into the different kinds, and hopefully passing it down to their kiddos.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was mentioning earlier about the love languages, and different things like that. And it's like I said earlier, it just baffles my mind, some people's opinions and stuff, but that stems from the teachings that were passed down to me. Love is something that is one of the most valuable. It is the most valuable thing on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much in the teachings, the, serving at being a servant to Creator. You're supposed to love everyone, no matter how evil a person is. Still have love for that person because they are part of creation, part of
Mm-hmm.
the creation that Creator has made, that it
Ab-
allows to exist.
mm-hmm.
Um, and and there's that kind of love, and then there's love for the person that you sometimes people think they want to be with, and then the people that they just that like me and my wife, first the moment I met her, we just both knew that we're going to get married.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be together for the rest of our lives. We just knew it instantly. Can't explain it, don't know why, it just was and still is. 10 years later, we're still growing, love just constantly, daily getting stronger and stronger. So I feel that the true love is on such a different, deeper level that a lot of people haven't experienced or know what that can look like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me go. I'm gonna ask Rico this question: how hard is it, and not personalized, not you personally, but if you want to deal with it from the angle you can. But how often is it that people have a hard time or very difficult time loving their enemy?
Very hard, very hard. I mean, because you sort of leading into what I was gonna say. To the person that's receiving the love, it is an emotional reception,
Mm-hmm.
a feeling. So whatever action you put off on somebody, you're gonna make them feel some type of way. That's why I was gonna ask, is love more valuable from the person that receives it, or more valuable from the person, or powerful from the person that gives it? Because the person give as much love as they want to, but the person receiving it might not think it's enough.
Mm-hmm.
What the reason why I say that is because sometimes in some instances you hear people asking for charity. They say, "Hey, look, y'all, we need y'all to donate to this cause. Show me some love."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes it's just support, a round of applause. Show me some love. So,
Mm-hmm.
what is everybody's identity? I'm gonna say definition of love once again. There's so many levels of it. People might only want to receive a certain kind of love.
Mm-hmm.
Love is so dysfunctional to me. I almost said earlier that I view love in the wrong way because of what I was going out doing with females, but really and truly, that was the way I was feeling like I was receiving love. I was receiving attention by the women allowing whatever I had to say or whatever I wanted to do to let them sleep with me, even if it was 2 or 3 different women a night. I still feel like that was some way that they showed me some type of love.
Mm-hmm.
Dysfunctional because of the fact that I wouldn't love the right way. I didn't know how to love the right way properly. So like I said, it comes from different cultures, different backgrounds, so many different ways that it could be perceived. Like I said, to me, it's just a matter of how the person that's receiving the love is taking it. Do they know what love is? Because the person giving it might not ever be able to give enough.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Toy, you with a T, talk to him and sis, what's on your heart?
No, absolutely. So accountability,
Mm-hmm.
it's like if the women stop laying down with the man, and the man wouldn't be able to do it. But I think that, again, if you're the head, and the leader, what? If you're listening to other people and going against what your creators say, so the natural reaction, because I'm the woman, I'm supposed to, like, that's kind of like, why? Supposed to. But if you abuse your power, then it spans things, whether you're the man or the woman. It's a sticky situation. We'll never understand it, and
Mm-hmm.
we're not meant to. But it's a huge role to the world, the role the woman plays and the role the man plays. And again, I just got to go back to, we got to understand our power, how powerful we are, and how powerful we are to the generations after us, and what we do, and the conscious decisions that we make, man, especially when we, I guess, set out the expectation or the standard on what love is,
Mm-hmm.
and when we decide to manipulate the true meaning of love and put it in a negative light, it could be really, really deep. But man, listen, I love y'all for this conversation.
Hey,
It's
love you as
great.
well,
Thank
sister.
y'all so much. Keep it
Absolutely.
going.
Absolutely. Bishop, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, I'm enjoying the conversation. Man, Rico is, boy, he's knocking out the park today. I'm just listening to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I made me think he's a doggone guru of love. And he's opened up a lot of information and getting it to us.
Mm-hmm.
Things we need to be looking at or should be looking at as it moves towards a relationship, understanding and identifying what
That new
is
Steve Harvey.
and what we really view to classify as being love. So, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love what Badger was just saying about when him and his wife got together. They just knew it was a magnetic pull for them to come together. So he was able to ascertain at that moment who she was in his life, who she was going to be in his life, and look like they're in a beautiful relationship, happy. And this is what we look at. This is what we need to be looking at, and identifying what is, and stop looking at what we want at somebody else's relationship.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we mess up when we try to look at what somebody else got going on in their relationship. Then we mess ours up because we don't have what they have. But what they have is something that they work towards, just like what we have, like Badger have. And so we work towards it.
Yeah.
And we had to endure. So even with you and your wife, beautiful couple, man. I enjoyed y'all Saturday night. And man, and I see the chemistry between y'all and man, happy birthday to her, and birthday Leonard again, birthday's past. But you did so much for your wife. Now you didn't do it because she made you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You did it because you love her and you wanted her day to be special.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I take my hat off to you for demonstrating what love should do.
Mm-hmm. To God be the glory.
And what you did was what love should do for the person.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Man, this love conversation. We could go a couple of weeks talking about this right here, man, because there's so many different levels, man. It goes so deep. Donald, let me ask you this question: If a person has never really experienced love, been in a couple of relationships, never really experienced love, but then the right person coming on and show them what love is and what love is supposed to be and what it's supposed to feel like, does this person always know how to receive it, Donald?
This person, what now?
Always know how to receive it.
No. What our problem is, we reflect on the past, and then it scares us. Can I say it like Cassandra joined me in saying this? And then you can come in. It scares the hell out of
Hey! Go ahead. And when look here, when you get out that corner, we'll let you finish your thought. But look here, we got a Donald Tucson. It's in the court, man. You may live in that corner with Leonard. I see Rico over there. That go Cassandra. Man, may live over there in that corner. Go ahead, Tucson.
No, but if you now and I'm gonna just go back to what I do. If you go back to the biblical definition of love, it will always cause you to say, I don't love enough. You fall short. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Love patient, love kind, love is does not envy, is not boastful, not arrogant. And we got some arrogant people.
Mm-hmm.
They boast about what they got going on. And selfish is not like that. It's not irritable. It does not record love. You know how people remind themselves of what used to be in the last relationship they had, and when they have a good relationship, they say, "Oh, but."
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, yeah, I'm for real. I mean, I'm not talking about what somebody told me, and I ain't gonna say it again. But it gets scary, and that's why people leave good relationships because they don't know how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
Mm-hmm.
they let some, they got women and men let their friends that don't have no man or woman talk them out of good relationships
Yes, sir.
because when they see it and they can't get that, they don't want you to have that
Mm-hmm.
because you will accomplish what they've never been able to accomplish through love, which everybody needs and wants. And if you don't want that or don't feel like you need it, you're crazier than I thought you were.
Mm-hmm. That's
Because
good.
everybody, and see, because there's a love that's fulfilling that only God can give. That's why people get into other things that is
Mm-hmm.
lustful
Mm-hmm. That's good.
because they try to emulate only what God can fulfill,
Mm-hmm.
even in the person that is meant for you. And some people get so tired of trying to amount to that, they seek people that can never give them what they need.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we got so many unhealthy and unholy relationships that we try to make godly, but they'll never be godly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can forget that because it don't line up
Mm-hmm.
to godly love.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, Raheem,
Yes, sir.
Donald, I just want to say this, man. I missed you Saturday. And I don't know why Raheem brought this particular subject up. Because, love is so great, so strong. So I was with him Saturday night. And I asked him to play a song so I could sing. He played the extended version of that song. He didn't play the short version. And I couldn't even breathe no more after I got through. Did he love me?
Lord Jesus. Look here. Of course he did. Of course he did. But like I say, you picked that song, and that was the lip sync for the lip sync competition. He picked the song, and so I played the version I thought he wanted to play. Halfway through the song, him and his sons up there, man, they were about to crawl across the floor. Boy, I said, man, let me turn this song on right now because this song go 2 more minutes.
The song was like 19 minutes long, though, right? I'm just saying.
And Raheem just like looking at you, man. He just want to see you do it. He get as much eye full of it as he could.
Look, I'm trying to show some love, man. I'm trying to show the 19-minute song. I'm making sure you get the whole song, brother. I'm not gonna give you no short version. I'm gonna give you the whole song. I thought you had a little stamina, man. Toya.
Man, I was up there sucking that. I thought, Toya probably like, come on, give me my son both out the mouth, resuscitate her.
Look at we thought we got to call 911. Thought we got to call 911, Rico. It was something else, boy. It was something serious.
He didn't come up with no special signal.
Look, he look at me like this. Rico look at me like this. I said, okay, bro. I understand.
Oh, you tired? Oh, okay. I get you tired.
I thought you were gonna shift to 4th gear, brother. You just in 3rd, man. It's a 5-speed. What's wrong with you, man? Change gears.
We got about 3 more minutes left on this song.
Exactly. but I'm gonna tell you something, boy. We had a good time, though, man. We had a real good time Saturday, man. I really appreciate everybody. We had some fun.
And man, Toya is a wonderful entertainer, man. That lady has so much energy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, I nobody could keep up with her. She ran the show. That was the Toya show.
I'm gonna tell you something. Toya danced from the time she walked in the building to the time she walked out the building, and look at and everything in between. Well, she had a good time. She had Toya. I ain't gonna speak for her. Toya, did you have fun?
I did, Raheem. You know, I left that event and went to another event with some music, man. I love me some music. I can be sad and I can be down, honey.
Mm-hmm.
But some good music, it's a wrap on that. All my words get casted away. But yeah, I had a really, really good time. I enjoyed myself.
Absolutely. And like I said, Donna was saying last night we got to do it again. So I guess we gotta put this thing together, make it happen again, man. And sooner than later, sooner than later. And so that's what we're gonna do.
You know, that's one of them special things about Toya though, man. She full of life, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't care what she is. I mean, man, listen here. I ain't even been around her, but I can tell that if you down,
mm-hmm.
you might want to pep up when she come around because man, that thing fixing to liven up around now. And if you ain't gonna have no choice but to get involved. Even if you try to get involved. You're gonna get it, you're gonna look and you're gonna interact, you're gonna respond because it's life in her for anybody to not get something and want to react to it. I mean, she's all the energy, man, like Bishop said.
Yeah, she look at I turned her around, man. Rico, this is what I did. I turned her around because she had been dancing, man. She hadn't sat down, and some people sitting down, and sometimes she was on the one on the floor jamming. And I said, Toy, you come here. And she said, what is it? I said, turn around. And I touched it back. I wanted to see what the energized, what them baddies was at, man. Cause she didn't. I wanted to see what them baddies was at. I figured K with an E. I figured there was some batteries in there somewhere. K.
I'm mad. I'm mad. Just the next time you plan it, give the ones that live out of town more time.
Mm-hmm. Man, look here, man. We had to get that toy. I'll tell you. And Bishop, I'm gonna tell you something. We y'all know we did the lip sync.
We need to be planning a cruise together, y'all.
Absolutely.
I don't know, but y'all.
Mm-hmm. Look here, some folks might get a little tipsy and try to walk off the ship. We can't do that. We might not be able to do that. We might not be able to do it.
Okay, never mind then.
But that would be fun. That would be fun. But Bishop, man, I'm gonna tell you something. Bishop got up there, man. He wanted to sing. Bishop sang about 12 songs, didn't he, tell you?
At least.
So no lip syncing, straight singing.
Straight singing.
I just gonna be exactly him. That's all I want to do.
Exactly.
I ain't missing either one of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Toya was the life of the party. It was only one song. That one song just went 19 minutes.
Hey, Raheem said he had you a mega mix.
Exactly. But I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Then I get in the car. I can barely breathe when I walk to the car. I'm like, cool. My church said, Daddy, that was fun. Man, I didn't know you were like that. Y'all shut up. Don't about to talk on the way home.
But see, and our topic today is on does love have limits? Love had no limits over that weekend, man. We was together, man. We had a good time. We really enjoyed each other, man. And that's what it's all about. You know, from time to time, we all got to come together, man, and just appreciate each other. And we really did that. And next time, I hope everybody be able to come, man, because I want everybody to be in the building. I really want everybody to be in the building. Some situations happened, and everybody wasn't able to make it this time. But next time, I'm very confident everybody gonna be here, man. We're gonna have a real good time, man. See, can we get Rico and Donna Tucson out there to do a little lip syncing or something?
I got a question, man. I got a question because I see you running late on time, man.
What's up?
With this love thing we were talking about, you know, I said about the person that's receiving the love and how they receive it. How dangerous can the expectation of love be? Can you have too high of an expectation, or can you have a warped expectation of what love should be, and how dangerous can that be? I know we speak about how some people sleep around for comfort. That's their way of getting attention or getting love or just feeling good. But how dangerous can too high of an expectation or a misguided expectation of love be?
That can be very dangerous because I know that everybody has heard somebody say, I wonder why they just don't love me. Why don't they love me? Why don't they love me like I love them? And that can drive a person to make that could drive one person to hurt another person because they feel that is their love that they're giving is not being reciprocated. and the person, walk away or just treat them any kind of way, and they just wonder, I love them so much, why don't they love me back? Why don't they love me? Why are they not giving me the love? What's wrong? And then it even gets to the point, sometimes people get to the point, man, this is so, and it's so sad, man. They get to the point, they say, well, what's wrong with me? Why don't they love me? What's wrong? And they start putting things like that. What's wrong? Nothing ain't wrong with you. Maybe this person just don't have love. And then the person starts saying, what's
that right there.
What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Why why don't they love me? What's wrong with me? Ain't nothing wrong. It's something wrong with them, but ain't nothing wrong with you. And that can make one person hurt another person, Rico. It really can. It's scary, man. It's real scary. Anybody else?
So made me think of what Toya said earlier too about the woman saying that if a man don't hit her, he don't love her. I've heard her say that too.
Yeah, me too.
I get a reaction out of me.
That's scary, man. That's
scary.
Trying
to get a reaction out of me. No, this is dysfunctional. I got to get out of here. You trying to make me mad. This ain't love.
Yeah.
So I had about that expectation.
Exactly. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
Y'all almost getting sadistic.
Yeah, it sounds like it really does, man. Because it's scary. That's why I say it's scary.
And if I was to say one of my goals is to get people to stop using agape love incorrectly. Filial love, I think, is that what we have for one another.
Yeah.
Brother to brother. Man to man.
Yeah.
Whenever you use love in these other different contexts, it was like my neighbor. Well, who is my neighbor? Usually my neighbor is somebody we have something in common. But as I said before, I think that God's love is so different than how we love other people.
Let me ask you this. Now, when you see a God's love, that's something that I don't think that we as man could reach, because that's supposed to be what they deem to be a perfect love, and
that's exactly why I want people to stop using it that way.
We'll never be able to attain that.
Perfect.
Yeah, we can't obtain that. We can't.
No, you can't. You cannot. I don't even think it's possible, because it's still a mystery. So, a lot of people will say, you have to understand, why are you asking them questions? Why are you asking yourself whether or not somebody loves you or not? Why? I mean, you don't do that to strangers, do you?
That's sick.
You had some dealings with this person that makes you think you're entitled to their love. See, it's always some crookedness and wickedness in there. And I'm not one to explain it fully, but I do know that a person like God's love, God loves you, but he also loves judgment. And the only people he's truly going to cut off are the wicked. So when we get to talking about love, you have to say, wait a minute, God created everybody, but if his love, see how complicated that is? So you have to understand, when you're trying to master something, I don't believe you can. I mean, you can't. It's almost impossible.
Let's go to Bishop. What do you say to that?
Well, I just came back online. Somebody called me, so I missed the conversation. I only caught a little bit of what Leonard was saying at the end, and I'm glad to hear Leonard's voice. But bring it back to me so I can answer it.
But he's saying that it's impossible, and he and I was in agreement with this. It's impossible for a person to obtain the agape love, a godly love, because God love is a perfect love, and I don't think we can ever reach that point. What do you say to that?
I disagree.
Okay.
Because we have to have God. We have to have God's love. That's where perfection comes into place.
No.
Love your enemies.
No, I say, can we obtain that same type of love, that same type of agape love that God has for us? Can we ever obtain that?
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
If we couldn't get it, then he wouldn't have given us charge to get it. See, when you get his spirit, when you get God's spirit, that means you are in the same place he is, because God is a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave you that love. You know, Leonard is a military guy, and so am I.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't join the military because I knew they were going to be paying me XYZ millions of dollars. I joined it because I wanted to go and protect and defend this nation. I don't know that man that lives in Texas, but I'm fighting for him just like I would for my folks in Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So love itself, you have to look at it in a way where, why am I doing this? I sure ain't doing it for a flag,
mm-hmm.
but I'm doing it so that my people can have the freedom and the liberty that they so rightfully deserve. So I put on that uniform and I went to combat, and God blessed me to come back home. But at that point, I did it because I care for the well-being of others. When I was a police officer, I didn't put on the uniform because they pay us, $100,000 a year. I put on the uniform so I could protect those that could not protect themselves, who were the defenseless. Now, if that ain't love, I don't know what love is. Because I carry a gun, but what that mean? I carry a gun to protect myself and to protect my family.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you call you willing to put yourself in harm's way for somebody else. That's God's love. Because see, when God came in the likeness of flesh, in the Son, in His Son Jesus, He died on the cross. Well, I was willing to die for the freedom of this country. I was willing to die for this man or that woman. I didn't put no limitations on it. I never went AWOL. I served my time and got out with an honorable discharge.
Mm-hmm.
We have to understand and identify what love really looks like, but we never really even give it a true thought.
Mm-hmm.
But God told us, and He said this in 1 John, the 4th chapter, that love is perfected in us when we love one another. He told us to love our enemy. We know folks don't like us. Saturday night, somebody came to your event. I entreated that person real nice. You told that person you dogged this man out on radio. I didn't treat that woman no different.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had to learn how to love those that don't love me.
Yeah.
And treat those who don't treat me right. I got to treat them right. Because God don't care what they do against you. He only cares what you do to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we start having looking at this relationship, this thing called love. Because I don't put limits on my love.
Mm-hmm.
My love is unconditional. And whether you do something for me or not, I still do something for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what love looks like. And that's how we're made perfect. That's why when folks say, well, I ain't perfect, go back and read your Bible and tell us what love come in, what love looks like. 1 Corinthians, the 13th chapter, 1 John, the 4th chapter, St. John, the 13th chapter. These are the scriptures that we need to go back and read and learn. Matthew 5:48, He said, be perfect. And if we couldn't be perfect, He wouldn't say be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
He said, be almost perfect. He didn't say that. This is why I try to tell folks all the time. Let's go back. I'm sorry. I'm going to shut my mouth up. I take this stuff serious. This is something serious. And the problem is people not being taught right. Because they want to have an excuse to be mad at you and to hate you and to fight you and to put your name out there bad. Because they are motivated by their father. Like that clown did and yesterday went into the grocery store. The devil's job is to steal, kill, and destroy. If the devil do his job through his people, why can't God do His job through us?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Amen.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. What's on your heart, sis? We got to get out of here. We got a whole minute.
I agree. I agree with him. Like, that's so true. And y'all need to Google it. That's what y'all need to do. Google it and get we got like 7 different loves. You got the love of the body, the type of love illustrates sexual attraction, physical desire towards others, and a lack of control. Then you got an affectionate love. Then you got a love of the child. Then you got that agape love, which is selfless love. Then you got the playful love. Then you got long-lasting love. Then you got the love of the self. I need to Google it. They said there's 7 types of love, and 4 of them is biblical.
Well, listen, I love Breyers butter pecan ice cream. Which one is that?
You love what?
Breyers butter pecan ice cream. Which one is that?
I think that's gonna be let me see which one would that be. You love I don't know what that would be.
Affection.
I know in the Bible it says it's 4 of them is biblical.
Oh, okay. I was just trying to figure.
Storage,
I love me some. I love
Eros, and agape.
Well, I love some Breyers butter pecan ice cream. You know, I love it. Badger, what's on your heart before we get out of here? Quick verse. Give me 30 seconds, Patrick. 30 seconds.
The fact that a lot of people, there's a lot of old knowledge that has been lost over time that's even in the Bible, but nobody really teaches it the way it's meant. And I think that that's something that folks need to do a lot of introspection and to find their individual truths and how they connect the Creator.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Toya, 30 seconds. 30 seconds, Toya. Toya with a T. She gonna take 20 seconds to find her mute button. Lord, my Jesus. Toya with a T. Toya with a T. Talk to me. While she find her mute button, Rico, talk to me. 30 seconds.
I love what Bishop said. I look at that love as being selfless, compassionate, and one that's willing to sacrifice. And you won't pick and choose. You know, that type of love that's willing to step in and break up the fight when everybody else is wanting to watch for their entertainment. They willing to be the eyeball that steps in and say, you know what, forget all what y'all saying. This is wrong. I love these two people too much to see how this can turn into something worse. That's love, and there's not a whole lot of expectation you should have with that. To me, it's just natural. And to me, that's always been my definition of agape love. Selfless, willing to sacrifice, and compassionate enough to step in and save somebody that might not even relate to you or be related to you, or it might not benefit you, but it's just the right thing to do because they are human.
Good deal, good deal. Let me see who else we got here. I think I touched everybody. Rico, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir?
If you missed today's show and would like to catch it in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Central Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com, or you can tune in on Facebook on DKM Media 1.1.
Good deal, good deal. Bishop, can I get you to pray us out, sir?
Sure. Go to the throne of grace. Heavenly Father, we come before you this present hour and thank you, Lord God, for all that you do and have done, for last night's rest, this morning's rise, for the use and activities of our land. We know, Father God, the whole things work by your power and your might. We're so thankful to you, Lord God, for DKM Media Group, Raheem, and these hosts that come on and give their views and points so that we can all have a better understanding and know how to relate to one to another in this wicked and cruel world. As I pray, Father, we pray for those who lost their lives, those who have been injured from the senseless acts of those who are motivated by their father, the devil. But we ask, Lord, that you cover us and put your loving arms and protectors around us, Lord, as we travel to and fro, Lord God. Keep us from danger seen and or unseen, and allow us to walk according to your will, your word, and your purpose. Lord God, continue to bless. In your holy and righteous name, Lord Jesus, we do pray. Amen.
Amen. I got a shirt on today. It said, "Get your life right. Heaven don't have visiting hours." Yeah, you heard what I said?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, my shirt says, "Get your life right. Heaven do not have visiting hours." Just to be saying, Rico, I see you smiling, brother. What's on your heart? Talk to me.
I like that one. I like that one. It ain't like you go to prison and visit people. Ain't no visiting hours. Hey, once they in now, you ain't finna see them no more, and ain't no way for you to get in and just temporarily visit. You got to get that phone call.
You got to get there on your own. You got to pay your own bill, make your own reservation. So our thing that we're trying to do is trying to make our reservation. We're trying to make our reservations so that we too can make it to heaven. We're trying to make it to heaven, and so it don't have business now. It ain't gonna let us come in there and walk around and see. Oh man, this is nice. This is nice. None of that. None of that. When you're there, you're there. Bishop, talk to me.
There ain't no open house.
Ain't no open house. No sir. No sir. Bishop, talk to me.
Man, you saying that we get ready to get off the show, but you put the mic in my hand, I take off. So yeah, but I love the shirt, man. I love the reading thereof, man. That is so nice.
Good
That's
deal.
so nice.
That's so nice. That's so nice. That's so nice. Lord, that's just so nice, Lord. That's so nice, ain't it, Lord? Lord, that's nice. Listen, it is now 10:05. I'm being a little silly. I will go to Kay, but Kay gonna talk for 20 minutes. K with an E.
Kay ain't gonna talk no 20 minutes.
Get your life right. Heaven don't have visiting hours. What do you think about that shirt?
I love it. Heaven doesn't have visiting hours.
Mm-hmm.
They really don't.
Exactly. Well, listen, It is 10:05. She intentionally did that real quickly. So because I said she was gonna talk for 20 minutes, so that's why she intentionally gave me the quick version. I know what she did. She's slick now. She Crisco. Hey Rico, she Crisco now. Straight Crisco slick. But listen, it is 10:05. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and associates and the Morning Glow to be a part of your morning. It's 10:05. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. And do me a favor, if you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. And if anybody needs any t-shirts, we do t-shirts around here too. So we do these t-shirts. This is an example. They look good.
I need one of them t-shirts.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna call you off air. You let me know, and I get one to you. Y'all have a great day.
Right.
Love you.